Elon Musk sent you a personal request, private meeting for you. I reach out to you in this moment because your soul has been stirring and I refuse to let another sunrise pass without easing that quiet longing at the edge of your spirit. I've seen you pause over some words and glide by others, but this message carries a divine imprint. Pause here. Inhale deeply and let it settle. I am the Lord speaking straight to you because I've positioned an opportunity before you that no force can block, and I'm unveiling it with a clarity that demands your attention. You sensed it even before these words met your eyes. The subtle shift where fortune begins to align, where every delay proves to have been purposeful, and where a confidential call bears your name inscribed with unquenchable purpose. This isn't your imagination at play or mere self-assurance. It's my voice breaking through. Grasp this foundational reality that will shatter every restraint the instant you embrace it. You're not behind schedule. You're precisely in my rhythm. While the world rushed in circles and whispers of uncertainty echoed in your thoughts, I was meticulously positioning connections, locations, and exact moments to carve a route through what seemed impenetrable. You've pushed against barriers in the past only for them to remain sealed, not because they were meant for you then, but because the timing wasn't right. Now that threshold yields, the latch turns easily in your grasp. Now the gateway swings wide, revealing a secluded encounter I've arranged to rewrite your narrative, leaving skeptics speechless and observers in reverent hush. You sought a signal amid the chaos. This is it. I've been weaving signs that challenge your doubts, recurring patterns that spark wonder, sudden validations from afar, a phrase in a stream that echoes your hidden prayers, a hush amid the storm, murmuring, "Prepare yourself." These are my handiwork, drawing you to the brink of a dialogue destined for your life. Indeed, I'm the architect who has drawn your path into the gaze of influence. Not to overshadow you, but to let your radiance reflect my origin of light. Chosen one, don't just receive, respond. A simple super thanks up to $20 is a way to say yes to what heaven is releasing through this word. I regard no status or spotlight with awe. What moves me is bold humility, and you've embodied it steadfastly. Heed this intently. A figure etched in global discourse. A name that echoes across industries, innovations, and debates. A beacon that ignites intrigue and divides opinions. He stands as both icon and individual in this revelation. And I've allowed this fusion for your clarity. Shun idolatry of mortals. Rever me alone. Yet recognize that I who enthrones leaders and redirects nations can sway any will as I see fit. An exclusive outreach has been extended. Stamped with your essence. And I'm granting you the serenity to bear its gravity. For you'll require this poise to navigate the path ahead with elegance. A confidential summit implies intimate readiness. A singular appeal demands inner forging. You're not thrust into the arena's glare, but welcomed into a chamber where one affirmation can eclipse seasons of rejection. In the shadowed watches of night, I lingered over your unspoken queries, the fears you silenced because vulnerability felt like peril. You pondered if your gifts were truly seen, if your visions were fleeting vapors lost to harsh scrutiny. So I revealed that the world bends like dough in my grip, dispatching affirmations from unforeseen sources. When you felt unseen, I leveraged that obscurity to station you ideally. Know this, solitude wasn't retribution. It was orchestration. The stillness honed your discernment for my direction amid the clamor of praise or the bite of disdain. You can weather both and still follow my lead, a gift few possess. That's why I act now without further postponement. Dismiss any trepidation toward prominence, prestige, or prosperity in others. When I declare confidential, I mean fortified, guarded against jealousy, interference, and hasty judgments. There's a table, a seat, and an exchange infused with your tranquility. As you enter, you'll stand unwavering, recalling my dispatch. You'll evoke the vigils where only I and the stars bore witness to your pleas. You'll remember my sustenance through scarcity and sealed entrances. You'll recall the sting of neglect and how I instilled resilience in your joy. That resilience now commands presence, entering spaces once thick with strain. Refrain from reshaping yourself for acceptance. You're summoned as you are, refined yet intact. The voice that quivers in authenticity will steady. The thoughts that fray under duress will sharpen. The grip that faltered in isolation will hold firm. For solitude was never your companion. I am. I precede you. I present you. I equip your words, revealing what to voice and what to withhold. You'll share wisely, commit thoughtfully, and execute as I guide, infusing the space with a fresh current. Why you? Because you upheld your principles when shortcuts beckoned. Because you tempered fury with grace. Because you sought my pardon in secret for private stumbles. Because you cherished modest beginnings as potential. Because you nurtured unseen efforts without fanfare. Because you rejected postponement as refusal. Because you remained inquisitive, daring to map grand designs despite limited means. Persisting in your visions. I beheld your outlines, your prototypes, your quests for forgotten knowledge in quiet hours, and I rejoiced. You were cultivating a vessel ready for my deposit. Now on grace, it defies popular arithmetic, ignores polls, bypasses gatekeepers who deemed you unworthy. Grace dawns subtly yet irresistibly, slipping through cracks in drawn shades. It's why your identity surfaced in unanticipated circles. It's why an aide paused over options, compelled by an inner pull to your entry. It's why a correspondence glowed with unspoken urgency, evading the discard pile. It's why a crammed calendar yielded space. It's why barriers part without plea. It's why your stride lightens with an otherworldly lift, akin to those blessed dawns, enduring and amplifying in this pivotal hour. To the shadow of inadequacy lurking within, I consult not your anxieties on your destiny, but command them to yield and observe my handiwork. I array you an assurance that whispers rather than roars. Your composure will precede you like fresh air after stagnation. As dialogue unfolds, you'll perceive how I've preempted the dynamics, mellowing tensions, and honing insights. You'll advocate without self-doubt, request without remorse what matches your inherent worth, and discern prospect, evaluation, and interest in the faces before you, responding with anchored delight. This outreach transcends personal assent. It's about authentic unfolding. Gauge triumph not by sudden allies but by your faithful oversight of what I entrust. Post-exchange I assign tasks that echo eternally beyond fleeting displays. I'm linking you to means and mandates, and in embracing them you'll unearth profound serenity. You're crafted to construct, to console, to pioneer routes S for kindred spirits denied your openings. Your consent unlocks avenues for unseen souls you instinctively cherish. Let me clarify. Not all summons merit your energy, but this one bears my mark. I'll affirm it soon with irrefutable markers. A recurring identifier in odd contexts. A jammed portal easing open. A minor disruption reshaping your routine to unveil my choreography. Honor the figure involved without elevation. Value your history without chains. Anchor your essence to me, not a claim. I infuse prospects with enduring vitality beyond buzz. And I'll anchor you amid shifting spotlights. Shun the frenzy. Tread your course. Some will latch to your ascent from their fading eras. Shield your hearing. Respond with courtesy. Refuse with firmness. I'll supply phrases that deter debate to claims of your origins. Nod and advance to accusations of oversight. Prioritize purpose and proceed to whispers of controversy. Hold silence till I direct otherwise. Then utter briefly and resume labor. I'm purging pettiness from your palate. You've transcended it. Your essence discerns demonstration from progression. Opt for progression. Unreadiness. Approach with poise, not frenzy. Revisit your core aspirations and rationale. Outline essentials safeguarding your being and flexibles fostering alliance. Precision without inflexibility. You'll arrive as a blend of dreamer and doer, surprising pleasantly. Deliver results and ethics alongside desires, blending facts with narratives, infusing human impact into metric-driven arenas. Your uniqueness will gleam, earning regard for its unnamed depth. My aura upon you. Finances will arise. View them as instruments, not idols. Sway will surface. Treat it as a stream, not a reflector. Schedules will be tabled. Blend endurance with momentum. Embrace quiet intervals, their portals. When prompted inwardly, pose the query I implant. Reshaping the discourse. Observe the atmosphere pivot, presumptions fade, and clarity emerge like mist dispersing from a peak trail. You'll identify it by surging calm, not expedience, but alignment. I'm mending your bond with possibility from perceived peril to divine collaboration. Outcomes are secure. A closure signals mission complete. An opening heralds renewed mercy. Your core remains stable amid affirmations or deferrals, shielding you as tempo surges. Hydrate deliberately. Rest purposefully. Chuckle intentionally. Surround with aesthetics, melodies, hues, orderly spaces, dawn-lit vistas. These are foundations, not indulgences. I'm not just forging tomorrow. I'm enriching today. I am the divine stand with you. A singular appeal exists. I'm reiterating for your heart to cease resistance. A secluded summit awaits. I'm reiterating for your nerves to welcome it with ease over alarm. A greater aim endures. I'm reiterating to elevate this beyond a mere event. Advance infidelity. Respond to the incoming note. Articulate honestly. Endorse only what sparks gladness. Offer gratitude upon exit, be it affirmation, pause, or unforeseen pivot. Obedience yields triumph in every form. You're equipped, not overwhelmed, not diminished. You're my offspring, my vessel, my joy. I place none where provision lacks. When worry winds tight, inhale my presence. The Lord leads the way. When skepticism replays defeats, that was training, not verdict. When regret revives errors, that was redeemed. I'm liberated. Thus you'll proceed unyielding. When lights blind, voices buzz, prospects abound. Stay unadorned and luminous. Sanctify your affirmatives. Purify your negatives. Rever me. I'll broaden your realm. Sans inflating pride. To the whisper questioning if this suits another. This instance, exactness dispels it. These lines mesh your inquiries too seamlessly to dismiss. I'm securing you repeatedly like balm. No taunt with potential. I'm erecting a fresh foundation. Beam by beam, intent by intent. You'll sense it in ensuing exchanges, choices, gateways. I've dispatched guardians for this juncture. You've known them in enveloping security amid threats, serendipitous alignments, averting clashes, sharpened focus during strategy. They're not central but supportive. Handling minutiae beyond your scope, positioning, paths, phrasing, intervals, expressions. Exiting that chamber, you'll sense the uplift in your agency, both valid, dubbed fortune by the masses, affection by your soul. Resist premature proclamations. Nurture foundations before revealing growth. Confide in prayerful confidence who uplift without exhausting. Many crave tethering to your momentum for vitality. Intercede for them but nourish your calling, your calm, your attunement to me. The wise respect your reserve. The unripe label it arrogance. Yours to release. No burdens to mend, all joys to safeguard. As promised, I revisit a discarded fragment you deemed excessive, reinstate it. That bold stroke is pivotal. This summit amplifies your mandate, not dilutes it. Articulate your vision with resolve, not theatrics. You're synchronizing, not performing. Compatible souls will resonate. Others will appreciate the gentle divergence. Both mercies. Now raise your gaze. I'm instilling fortitude in your frame, radiance in your demeanor. You'll bear a subtle luminescence read as poise, its union. Articulate with exactness deemed shrewd, its guardianship. Endure with forbearance that chafes haste, its vista. Retain these honors. Forgo haste. Validation, appeasement. They've suited you through growth in barren ground. I noted your anchors. Thus, I dispatched nourishment. This era liberates you from constriction in self-view, ambition, reception of benevolence, pursuit of necessity from the myth of merit through excess. I sought not mechanism but wholeness, vital, engaged, attuned to me. The appeal seeks a being, not commodity. The summit a spirit not facade. Offer your entirety strengths and scars and witness scars forge insight illuminating others. You've rehearsed unwittingly even in endurance. Each subtle consent primed bolder ones. Each limit upheld affirmed prosperity safety. Swift pardons untangled growth's bonds. Gratitude over grudge expanded grace's conduit. Now embrace that current in fuller breath's eased brow upright stance as you absorb. I'm near ever present. Thus arenas once nauseating become native. Don't hasten past, diminish or normalize to quell fright. Let sacred gravity descend, then ascend empowered. I bestow tailored benediction, insight-piercing haze, valor, soft yet steadfast, delight, solitary, judgment-preserving eras, apt dialogues with fitting souls at optimal junctures for noble causes. Assurance that shifts preserve intent. Warmth forging bonds from unknowns. Prudence barring hasty alliances. Your apartment. This instant apartment. These utterances apartment stride as if the ground affirms your tread. It does woven to adore me eternally. Render gains as sanctuaries, trials as lessons, consents as tributes. In that confidential space, voicing from your core, my grin will warm within the soul endorsement required. The realm may term it chance, the divine fidelity, your existence, harmony. Proceed, cherished one. Reply gracefully. Engage composedly. Offer your authentic whole. Fulfill awaiting labors. When your pulse queries reality, let your depths reply. The divine wrought this for you. I address you unbound, unadorned, direct from my essence to yours. Knowing your penchant to dub inner stirrings chance over calling to label dawn's hush serendipity over summons. I've drawn near in twilight vigils and auroral glows when burdens weighed your lids murmuring I've not forsaken abandonment eludes me. Your paths persist and pull toward veiled portals. The refrain this claims you in every glance. These signify I'm direct synchronizing entities, venues, dispatches, summits with my blueprint for you. I'm inserting an unforeseen confidential bid manifesting my motion in your idiom. You've implored validation. Do weights signify delays discipline or defend arid stretches error or education? The barrenness sculpted your spirit. You drew from quiet contended shadows then graced them. Thrived on vows that waned outwardly yet burgeoned inwardly unseen. You persisted sans rationale, mended amid chill, voiced amid quiver. The invisible tallied each stride. I tallied. Nothing squandered. Sorrows irrigated tomorrows. Sense the stir in this epic. A dispatch traversed barriers deemed distant. An identity voiced in absent halls. Fascination birth. Focus. Focus. Intent. No glittering fluke. This is temporal blueprinting. When I merge flows, they converge over voids and peaks of skepticism. I've interlaced untraceable strands, ignited unseen beacons. I observed your devotion to artistry, expressions, schematics, alchemizing ache to illumination. Moments of absurdity in faith that notice would come, yet discerning gazes did, not via multitudes, but verity's chime in stillness. The attuned inevitably pivot. You query, why this conduit? Why this emblem? Why this herald? I select your era's lexicon icons that engage your core. I converse via tempests, grins, knocks. Today via observed streams, inescapable by lines, weighted appeals, marvel at my nearness, not resent method. I, sovereign, descend to your feeds and timetables for love inclines to connect. I unbound employ monarchs and codes, celestials and posts, light and alerts. No realm too mundane. I sanctify by entry. Attend a confidential summit assembles for you. Confidential underscores. No spectacle. No bizarre den peddling illusions. A portal barred to masses, a jar for your duty. Its aim, meld your sway with my design. The extender probes because I sowed inquiry in his depths, craving genuineness amid artifice, reviving valor's echo. I dispatch you for candor, not flawlessness, for bedrock unbribable, not omniscience. Fretting unreighness, sparse credentials beside towers, modest setup, faltering tone amid elites. I dispatch not to dazzle venues, but transmute climates. Offer my endowments, lucidity, resolve, compassion, hone, true, truth-tempered, kind. Your listening precedents whispered queries to me amid discourse, candor in ignorance, meekness in error. Hidden epics forged this. Now they manifest in your bearing as veils lift. View not as gamble prone to fade, but duty with coordinates. Honor destiny's calls as routine, present, authentically, punctual, reverent, readied, heart moored to me, serve results, not haggle, ethics, bargains overcharge. Shun inflation for stature, verity, soul attire. I'll manage magnitude acclaim inaccessible chambers. You steward the self I shaped in seclusion on discard dread. Worlds adore novelty spark then wander. Applause sour to scrutiny allure to doubt. Esteem to spite. No need conquer fickle climbs for inner haven. Your merit defies mortal graphs. Duty transcends trends. Anchor to me. Gaze fixed. Comparison cease. Repose blooms. Repose radiates. Radiation trusts. Chosen one. Don't just receive, respond. A simple super thanks up to $20 is a way to say yes to what heaven is releasing through this word. This summit essay's stance over lexicon discard rehearsed eloquence approach unburden mentally receptive inquire what's the core issue permit quiets labor quiet births my revelation sun war armed speak wily via truth not clamor UNM motivators unveil humbly guided by ethics. Duty to hearers crafting enduring beyond den. Thanks for portals wisdom enclosures. Substance spotters discern yours. Ponder sways pageantry narrative ethics gripping sands deceit. Nurture that vigilance, its sacred sentry.